Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and we are back for another Game of Thrones reaction. And this time we are up to episode 7, A Man Without Honor. Speaking of men without honor, I'm joined by my co
What a segue. I'm a man without honor. Well, no honor here, I guess.
No, he's plenty honorable. His favorite was Ned Stark in season 1. What man without honor would pick Ned as their favorite? We are here up to episode 7. So last time we saw Theon overtake Winterfell, forcing little Bran to name him as Lord of Winterfell, and he kills Roderick, who sticks up and defies him in the least clean beheading we have seen in this series.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of violence, and that was pretty gross.
Later in the episode, Osha sleeps with Theon, seduces him to get him to pass out, basically, so she could get up and sneak Hodor with Bran and Rickon, as well as Summer and Shaggy Dog, out of Winterfell. So we'll see where that ends up. But Rob was a little bit more slick with his moves last week, getting to know his little nurse, Talisa, but his mom clearly was not approving and was like, yo, pump the brakes. You are already betrothed to another. Don't fall in love for love's sake. And then Rob learns that Theon betrayed him and took over Winterfell, his home. So they are sending Lord Bolton's bastard over there to try to reclaim it from Theon. Then we saw Marcella, Cersei's daughter, being sent off to Dorne. On the way back, they all got attacked by the people of King's Landing, who were just starving and angry. They threw a cow pie at Joffrey's face. And then Sansa almost got raped in the streets, but the Hound brutally saved her.
Literally the most brutal I've seen him so far.
They all made it back safely, except the townspeople who were just in complete disarray. And then above the wall, Jon and his little crew find the wildling camp, but he's not able to kill one of the wildlings when he finds out it's a woman. And she books it on out of there before he can recapture her. And now they're cuddling to stay warm. And then Arya is still with Tywin as his little wine cupbearer, and she almost got found out by Peter Baelish, but she was able to sneak a little note from Tywin's desk before feeling pigeonholed and being forced to use the second name from Jaqen Hagar on one of the Lannister guards who finds her out. So 2 names down, 1 to go for Arya.
Who will be the last one?
And then finally, Daenerys approaches the Spice King asking for ships, in which he says, no thank you. And we learn she has approached a couple of other kings in that area who also decline or give her horrible propositions, in which she declines. And when she heads back to her room, almost all of her Dothraki have been killed, and the worst of all, her dragons were stolen. So that is where we left this episode off at, and we'll see if we pick up there in episode 7.
Graphic violence, I've noticed for this show, means someone's getting beheaded or
someone's being through their throat.
Yeah, someone's either getting a sword through them very graphically, or their throat's getting ripped out, or something gross, something really gross. I've noticed that when they put that on the disclaimer.
Along with a wildling woman, the one you were fucking.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, he kind of had that one coming, I guess. Theon has just turned into a complete savage this season.
The hounds have the scent.
I will be hoping that Theon Greyjoy does not succeed.
It's all just a game. Hold on.
You mean you sweet giant?
Hold on.
Hodor is just a lovable giant.
Billy climbs a tree better than anyone.
You've never seen me climb a
I think
tree
this is the most involvement
Well,
Rickon's had in any episode
You got a good
so far.
start on them.
Most
But I
lines
won't
for
outrun
sure.
hounds forever.
Did you pull a knife on me in the night? Don't your stones start to hurt if your bone forgets it?
Don't call them that.
Not stones.
John all flustered.
Yeah, I'd say.
But I might be your prisoner, but I'm a free woman.
You're my prisoner. You're not a free woman. That's what prisoner means.
So why are you fighting us?
Oh, no answer for that.
It's bad manners to refuse a lord's offer.
It's a trap.
Sit.
It just seems like every time they talk, he's playing games with her, trying to dig deeper for more info.
Do you think I'd be in my position if I'd lost a boy?
My legacy will be determined.
Arya seems to have her own motivations.
That's why every child alive.
Yeah, I feel like having dragons in your battle is kind of a huge advantage. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Most girls are idiots.
You remind me of my daughter.
oh,
Oh,
Where did you learn all this?
like, don't do it. Don't say that again.
Steel sword. Take that back to the kitchen.
I love that. Like Arya and Tywin are having like this battle of wits, like almost every time they speak to each other.
If you're going to pose as a commoner, you should do it properly. You're too smart for your own good. Has anyone told you that?
Yes.
That smirk.
Does it give you joy to scare people?
No, it gives me joy to kill people.
I mean,
Spare me, you
at least he's
can't tell me
honest,
Lord
right?
Stark of Winterfell now. Killing's the sweetest thing there is.
All right, so the Hound is a psychopath.
So hateful.
There is no we. So why would you help me get them back? I don't care where you've been.
That's what I mean. Like, man needs to stop trying. It's
She's
not
sick
working.
of it. She's done.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Oh man, he does really know nothing, so I guess that does fit.
John.
Put him in with the Kingslayer for now.
You put him in with Jamie.
Torrun.
At least Jamie's gonna have a friend, I guess. Just get together already. At this point,
Now they're taking strolls together on supply run.
I ship them. THEON is doing like a terrible job of running
My
Winterfell.
life being treated like a fool and a eunuch by my own people.
And it's you I should trust, Sir Jorah. Only you.
I feel like Dora's made like a good case
I don't need
out of anyone
trust
else
any longer.
around.
You were too young to be so.
And you were too familiar.
Ooh.
Find my dragons.
Give him the ultimate task.
Turn back around.
And I thought that we were done, but it's
John is like so done with her. Uh-oh. I'm surprised she didn't try that sooner, to be honest. Uh-oh. Oh, he's definitely outnumbered. Oh my god. John's just having nightmares.
Oh.
You gotta take her out.
Shay. Go, Shay, go!
Where are you going? You'll say nothing to anyone. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, Shay. Threaten people at knife point. The Hound is fast. How do you? He was in there so quick.
Fit to bear children for the king.
I swear to God, if there's a sex scene between her and Joffrey, I'm not watching anymore.
And I'm turning it off and never coming back.
The greatest honor. Joffrey's always been difficult.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
That's so very touching to hear.
Almost sounds like they're kind of like in the same boat.
Permit me to share some womanly wisdom with you on this very special day.
Shouldn't I love Joffrey, Your Grace?
You can try.
I feel like it's kind of hard to even like Joffrey, let alone love him, you know?
Your helmet, your horse,
I feel like that guy is going to get him out of there. I just feel like he's going to screw something up and Jamie's going to run free. He seems way too emphatic talking to Jamie. Jamie's going to manipulate him. Or he'll murder him, I don't know.
He couldn't take a step without stepping on me.
He's really sweetening him up, isn't he?
Complete liability.
You don't think Jamie's just being nice to be nice?
No way. Not Jamie. I think he's just toying with them.
There is a way, I think.
Here we go. Here's the plan.
Possible until now.
Well, let me help you.
And there it is.
One thing.
Tell me.
You'll have to die.
Oh. Oh, there he goes.
Poor kid has like a horrible death.
Yeah, I'd say. What a way to go. And there guy goes too. Jamie's just on a murdering spree now. This lady knows a lot.
You love her.
Like what? Like who does she? Who is this mysterious woman?
Will you betray her again, Jorah the Undel?
Oh.
So, I mean, what does she know? How does she know everything?
I did not leave the comfort of my home to come to yours and be called a thief.
Oh God, this guy again.
Calling you a thief. Your dragons will bring the world nothing but death and misery, my dear. If I knew where they were, I would not tell you.
You are cruel, my friend. I will help you, Khaleesi.
Yeah, let's go, creepy bald guy.
You have my dragons.
When I learned you were coming to our city,
never mind.
I made
He stole the dragons.
king of Karth.
Not go him.
Never mind.
He procured them for me. Forever.
Ooh. Okay. Oh no.
Mother should be with her children.
He's got that shadow clone jutsu.
I'll wait for you in the House of the Undying.
This is like borderline like a horror movie right now.
Just popping up out of nowhere. Oh shit.
Yeah, as he's like making like dozens of copies of himself.
Your hands off me, woman.
Don't enter without an invitation,
Ooh.
man.
Damn.
Lady Stark.
Oh, got him again.
Well, he tried. He's all bloody and everything. There's all, yeah, like I said, they're all just, like I said, they just want to trample him.
They want to kill him.
He's jumping him the whole town, and it's like,
How dare you?
ooh.
Threatening my lady is an act of treason. Treason? How can it be treason to kill me?
Brienne is ready.
I understand your grief, my lord, better than most.
I love it.
Is that a woman?
Do you hear him out there?
Was he the one on guard duty?
Come on, hit
He
him.
was in my way. I have more honor than poor old dead Ned.
Oh, let's hit him again. Uh-oh.
What are you doing?
Look, they're gonna take him out now too. Come on, he's gonna kill all the old people in Winterfell. The significant old people. Ugh. Jesus Christ. That's dark even for him, you know, most Game of Thrones. What is this? What is up with this show and child murder? I have seen so many children die in this show.
Quite the somber scene to end the episode.
I mean, it was kind of a somber episode as a whole, I feel.
Yeah, it was. I would agree with that. Jon and Ygritte continued to roam around in the north, where Ygritte continued to get more and more forward with her advance toward Jon. Until she caught him off guard and escaped yet again. Though this time she knew she was near a wildling camp and they trapped Jon. So how did you feel about Jon and Ygritte's little banter back and forth and that whole thing up there?
They had fun banter, but I mean, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite storyline of the day or anything. I feel like it did progress too much, and then once we got to like the climax of that, it didn't. I mean, we didn't get to see what happened next. We got to wait until next episode, probably.
Do you think Ygritte just really has the hots for John, or do you think she was just trying to razzle him to escape?
Probably a little bit of both. I feel like it maybe a little bit of both. She probably does have a little bit of the hots for John, and then she also wanted to escape. So we'll see. I guess maybe they won't. Maybe they won't murder him outright. They'll capture him or whatever. He seems to have a habit of being captured. So maybe he'll be okay this time too.
Maybe she'll show him the same grace that he showed her and just keep him captive.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be fair about it, sure.
Down with Robb. Talisa is still around, healing both him and his opposing army's people, but she needs supplies. And so Robb takes the opportunity to escort her on over to go and get those supplies.
Great opportunity there, it sounds like.
And it kind of, obviously, as you heard, upset Lord Karstark. A lot of stuff upset Lord Karstark in this episode, but that was one of them. Then we saw Jaime murder his cousin.
Horrible.
And then murder the Karstark son and escape, but wasn't able to get very far and was brought back to camp.
Yeah, I mean, he really didn't get far. They just threw him right back where he started.
Karstark, particularly, to avenge his son, wanted to just kill Jaime right then and there. Then we see the end. Catelyn goes to Jaime's cell and has a little bit of an exchange where Jaime admits this time, because last time he admitted to pushing Bran out of that window. This time, though, he admits to sleeping with Cersei out in the open.
I guess he figured he was dying, so who cares?
Yeah. Catelyn pulls out a sword, and they cut away. So, how did you feel about everything with Robb, Catelyn, and Jaime?
Well, I mean, I expected Robb to continue flirting with the woman. Not surprising. Hopefully it works out well for him, even despite his allegiances to be married to someone else. I imagine that's going to cause some friction, some conflict somewhere down the line if they do end up together. The stuff with Jaime, Catelyn, and all that stuff, it's not looking too good for Jaime. I mean, Jaime's just murdering people, and he seems to be they captured him, so, I mean, I guess, he's not going to get too far. They seem to have him on lock, at least, even if he keeps murdering people. Hopefully Catelyn gets to use the sword, maybe on Jaime, maybe not. Maybe, cut off something. It doesn't have to be like a hand or a leg. Cut off something just to show him the business, or even let Brienne do it. I mean, Brienne is just like ready to just go down to fight anybody at a whim. So just let Brienne do it.
Well, then over in Karth, Jorah returned from trying to find Daenerys a ship, and they go on their little hunt for the dragons. Jorah re-finds that woman.
She knows everything somehow.
Yeah, and she starts speaking in somewhat of riddles, and she knows that Jorah has betrayed Daenerys before. Obviously, a callback to him reporting on her in season 1. She tells him that this thief of the dragons is with Daenerys right now. And it cuts to Daenerys in the room with the 13 council members. Before Pyat Pri, the name of that little warlock, says, I took them, and they're with me in the House of the Undying. Come and get them, please. And he says he made a deal with Xaro in all of this foolery that made Xaro the new king of Karth instead of these council members. And surprise, Pyat Pri kills all of the council members, including the Spice King.
I mean, I was okay with that, at least. Good riddance for him.
Oh, Daenerys runs out of there with Jorah and one of her few remaining Dothraki soldiers.
Yeah, there has to not be very many left.
Yeah, he's just yelling at her to come to the House of the Undying to be with her dragons forever. So, how did you feel about that storyline?
I mean, it didn't progress all that much, but at least the progression that we did get was serviceable. I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to come next. If she's going to go into the House of the Undying and get her dragons back, and Pyat Pri and his creepiness. I mean, I wasn't on his side before, but he killed the Spice King, so I guess I like him a little bit.
And we did see a little bit of that passionate leader side of Daenerys, too, as she felt that she wasn't able to save her people and they died alone. Then we see in King's Landing, Sansa having nightmares and gets her first period. So Shay tries to help her keep that a secret so that she doesn't have to ed Joffrey officially. But Hound was there after telling her how much he enjoys killing people.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. Just how much he enjoyed it.
Yeah, so he reports back to Cersei. Cersei has a pretty human and actually kind of nice conversation with Sansa, kind of keeping it real with her. And then we see Cersei have a conversation with Tyrion at the end. So kind of a bunch of human conversations for Cersei this episode. She was toned down and actually a human for once.
Yeah, she was at least like semi-relatable for once.
Yeah, she talks about Joffrey and how she tries and wants to control him, but he doesn't listen, and how she looks at him as her punishment for sleeping with her brother from the gods. So at least Cersei is aware that Joffrey is absolutely terrible. So
I mean, how could you not? I mean, honestly.
How'd you feel about everything in King's Landing?
As we just said, I mean, the Cersei moments actually made her at least kind of like more relatable as a character for one of the few moments so far in the series. Tyrion was great, even though he had very limited screen time this episode. He had a human moment kind of with, heart to heart with Cersei. Even Sansa. I mean, Sansa actually has been a lot better this season. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of her in season 1, just the way that she was written and the way that she was, kind of used. But I think that it's nice that she's kind of getting like more of like a personality and kind of seeing the humanity of her situation in this season, at least for now. I mean, since she is kind of stuck with Joffrey and.
Well, then up in Winterfell, Theon discovers that the 2 boys are missing, and they go on a hunt to try and find Rickon and Bran. As they're going along, he's saying, I won't hurt them too bad if I can find them now, but if I don't find them now, it's going to be hell to pay. And he found them, someone, 2 children that he burned and hung for everyone to see there at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I feel like it was just 2 random kids. I doubt it was actually Rickon and Bran or anybody.
So you think he just snatched up 2 randos to pass off
Probably
as Rickon and Bran?
Well, how are you supposed to know? They were so badly burned. I mean, they're not going to DNA test them or something. It's not CSI Game of Thrones. They probably just see the bodies and they just figure that that's them.
Oh, if it is Bran and Rickon, is that past redeemability for Theon? Does that push him over the edge? Cannot be redeemed if he burned them and killed them?
Probably. I mean, that's kind of messed. I mean, I think that's beyond messed up. He just burnt 2 children to death.
So what do you think otherwise with that whole situation in Winterfell?
I mean, Theon is like a terrible leader, so the fact he's even like gaining anything in Winterfell is kind of laughable. He seems to be like pretty terrible in general. So I think all they really need to do is kind of rise up, and they could probably take out Theon and his little group he has there.
All right. So who were your favorites and least favorites this go round?
Did I really have like favorites for this episode? I mean, Tyrion wasn't really in it a lot, so it would be kind of dumb to consider him my favorite. But I mean, I guess of the characters that had screen time, Rob had a fun flirty moment with Talisa. Jon Snow had some fun humor with Ygritte. I mean, the Hound was kind of amusing and his, I guess, and his demeanor. But yeah, he's not one of my favorites of the episode or anything. But it's just like that line did catch me off guard. Daenerys was pretty good, but she wasn't like didn't do anything super duper special, I guess. So it's just a lot of just like kind of situations for me, at least in this episode. As far as characters I dislike, I mean, Theon's probably number 1. And then like a very, very close second's probably Jaime. I guess I should also say that Brienne was probably in my top people I liked this episode, just because I'm enjoying her like personality and how she's just ready to square up with anyone at a moment's notice.
All about
and
that
same
honor.
with Catelyn. Same with Catelyn. Catelyn's a good one too, as I thought about it more. Yeah. So they would be in the category of people I like. But yeah, Theon Greyjoy and Jaime probably are like my least favorite. I mean, Joffrey wasn't in the episode, so
Jaime returns and immediately jumps back on the.
I mean, when he murders his family and and then he murders a random guy. And
this kid who's going on and on about how much he idolized Jaime, and then he just murders him.
murders him, and then he tries to escape, and then he gets captured again. And he just keeps talking trash to people.
Oh, and how did you feel about Arya and Tywin and their dynamic?
Oh, right. Oh, I guess that means I had forgotten completely about their story because it was like so early on in the episode and then they never went back to it. I mean, they were good. I think that Arya and Tywin have like really fun, tension-filled banter every episode. I'm just waiting for it to come to a head. It seems like Tywin is playing with her every episode because he's obviously very smart and strategic. And I think he really is, not believing her stories. Like he brings up like every episode how like educated she is, and slowly just unraveling the story of what's her true, I guess, identity.
Their little banters back and forth are some of my favorite moments of this whole season.
I do think it's really impressive. I think it's impressive for Maisie Williams as an actress being that young and having to have that kind of acting back and forth with Charles Dance.
All right, that was our reaction and discussion for episode 7 of season 2 of Game of Thrones, Man Without Honor. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos, including each and every one of our reactions. Also, make sure to join in on the discussion and go ahead and subscribe and follow Tyler. Tyler, do you want to let them know where to find you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you just search up my name down below, you'll get to my channel where I do reviews, reactions, and all that jazz over there. And on Twitter and Instagram, @it's Tyler Calvert. That is my handle.
Perfect. So make sure to either comment or hit either one of us up on Twitter. What are your thoughts on episode 7 of season 2? I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.